Hi guys, I'm back with another video. In today's session, we'll talk about Copilot Studio. If you have been following my previous video, you already know how to create an agent in Copilot Studio, how to create topics, how to create an adaptive card so user can provide some information, and how to call workflows tools from the topic, and how this information can be saved in SharePoint or any other database. In today's session, we will try to mix up all these things. So we will create Copilot agent. We will create a topic, for example, this one, which I have created, sales deal assist. When this topic is triggered, it takes some information from the user. For example, what happens to the deal? What is the status of the deal? I can say I won the deal or I lost the deal. Based on that, it sets some string messages. And if the deal is won or deal is lost, it creates a follow-up task in a SharePoint list. You can see a list here. It just has some basic columns in it. So that is my sales deal assist. And I have created another topic in the same agent, which is my marketing deal assist. It does the same thing. When the topic is triggered, it asks for some information. Then a follow-up task is created in the SharePoint list. We already know that if we want to take some information from a user, we can use adaptive cards. We can design the adaptive card and take information from the user, and then that information can be saved into SharePoint list or a database. So in my sales deal assist topic, I have to take some information from the user. If I look at my other topic, which is marketing deal assist, I have to take same information again from the user. So if I add adaptive card in these two topics, for example, in sales deal assist, and also the same card in the marketing deal assist, that information will be duplicated. So what we can do is we can create another topic, which I have just created. So in that topic, we will display an adaptive card. We will take information from the user and submit this information to a SharePoint list. So this topic is a standalone separate topic, and we can integrate this topic into other topics. So that would be very exciting and interesting video. And let's get started. Okay, first thing first, let's create an agent first. Click on configure, just type the name. I say task pilot, and we can leave all this information as is. We don't need this. Click on create. Okay, our agent has been created. Now go to topics. Click on add a topic. Click on from blank and name this topic sales deal assistant. And the trigger will be I would like to update status of a sales deal, or I want to update the status of a sales deal, or please update status of a sale deal. Okay, so that will be the trigger. Next thing, we need to ask a question to the user. We need to know what is the name of the deal. Which Which deal are you trying? Are you updating today? Which deal are you updating today? Click on the identify. Click on user's entire response. So whatever user type, we will get that information here. And click on that variable one and rename this to deal name. Okay, next thing we will ask another question. Got it. What is the current status of the deal? Now user can say that I won the deal or I lost the deal. So that would be a multiple choice option. So one option is won, another option is lost. And the result will be stored in this variable. So click on that. And that variable name would be deal status. So if it is won, then it will come here. If it is lost, it will come here. For any other option, it will go here. So we don't need this section. So we can just simply delete this one. So if it is won, then we follow this. If it is not won or any other option, we'll go here. Okay, let's set a message first. So take a variable. Click on create a new variable and call it deal status message. And the message could be deal lost, but keep trying. So that's the default message. So if the status is won, we will update this message. But if it is not won, then this default message will be used. Okay. If it is won, then we update that variable. So there will be deal status message. Congrats. Now, after the deal has been won, we want to create a follow up task. So let's create a follow up task. So if deal status is won, then we set this message. But if it is not won, then this message will be assigned by default. Now let's display the message here. So that will be send message. And the variable will be deal status message. Okay. Now let's save it and run it. Okay, let's start a new session. I want to update status of a sales deal. Which deal are you updating today? So that is my YouTube demo deal. So that's the name of the deal. Let's say got it. What is the current status of the deal? You won or you lost? We'll say we won. And if I say won, then it said congrats, let's create a follow-up task. So now we have to create a task. So edit this topic. So now we have to create a follow-up task. So let's go to SharePoint. So we will create a list in SharePoint and then a follow-up task will be created in that list. I will create a new list. Follow-up tasks. Okay, our list has been created. Now add some columns. So I will create a description column, which is multi-line text. Next column would be urgency. I'm okay with single line of text. And the next column would be assigned to. And this would be a single line of text as well. Okay, so we have created a SharePoint list with these 3, 4 columns. Now let's go back to the topic. Now, next thing from here is to create a follow-up task. But before that, let's create another topic. We already have sales deal assist topic, and now we are going to create another topic. Click on that arrow, or maybe go back to topics. Click on new to add a topic and choose from blank. And this one would be marketing. Deal assistance. So it will do the same stuff. It will ask user for some information, and that information will be stored in a SharePoint list. But before that, let's define the triggers. So this would be exactly same. So let me copy that information from the other topic. So I copy that and paste it here. So this is known as sales deal. So this would be marketing deal. Okay. So that is our trigger. And the next thing we need to do is we can skip these questions, but if you want to add, you can add these questions. So we need to ask the deal name. We also need to ask the deal was won or lost, and then we set in these variables, and then we display these messages. But the main thing is what happens after this message displayed. We have to collect some information from the user so that information can be stored in a SharePoint list. So we will do that now. So we can create an adaptive card, and then we have to design it, and we will ask ChatGPT to design a card for us. So we can ask title. That would be single line of text. Then we have description, which would be multi-line of text. Then we have urgency, and then we have assigned to. So urgency is also a single line of text. And assigned to is also a single line of text. Please give me adaptive cards JSON, which can be used with Copilot. Okay, we got the JSON. Now let's copy that and go to this marketing deal assistant. Go to marketing deal assistant topic. Click on edit adaptive card and paste the JSON here. And then save and close. Simply save it. And we have to do same thing for this topic. Add an adaptive card. Save and close. Now you will notice one thing that both topics have the same card. So that means the information is being duplicated. So there is a better way of doing this. What we can do is we can create another topic which will display this card and also the steps we need to insert this information into SharePoint list. So that can go into that another topic. And then these two topics, the sales deal assistant and the marketing deal assistant, these topic can call the other topic. So let's create a new topic now. Let me duplicate this one. Click on new topic from blank, and the name would be create follow-up task, and the trigger would be I want to create a task. It doesn't matter because this will be called by other topics. So we can just simply write this one. Okay, so when this topic is triggered, first thing we will do is we'll display a message, and that would say, please provide the following information to create a new task. So that message will be displayed, and after that, we will display the form. So that's the form. Save and close. We don't need this, so I'm going to remove that. And that should be fine now. Okay, so now we have created this adaptive card. The next thing we need to do is call this topic from other topics. So let's save it first. We don't need this now because that has been moved to the shared common topic. So when this topic is triggered, it just is call the other topic. It's not showing. Possibly we need to refresh it. Save it first and refresh. Same thing with this one. We don't need this. Just delete, save, and refresh. Now we get this create follow-up task. Now when this topic triggers, it just call this topic. Let's try this now. Save. Okay. So when we write these triggers, when this write this prompt, this information is written in that topic, and after that it displays the form, which is what we need. So that is looking good now. Now let's go to the other topic. So this is our sales deal assistance. It needs to do the same thing, create a follow-up task. Save, and let's run it. One more change we can do in this, when this form is shown, we can just write a message. Thank you. Your task has been created. So that the message will be displayed. And after that, we just end this topic and all topics. Save this. Okay. We were testing this one. I want to update the status of the sales deal. Which deal? Memo I1. And it says, congrats, let's create a follow-up task. And then this information is displayed. And then we have this form. So far, so good. Next thing we need to do is when this form is displayed, it takes that information and we need to save this in a SharePoint list. And for that, we have to create a tool. Sorry, we need to create a flow. Click on flow. New agent flow. The trigger will be when an agent calls the flow. So the information it will receive will be the title, description, urgency, and assigned to. So these are all strings. Okay, so when this information is passed, and the next thing we need to do is create a SharePoint list item. I will select the site. The list name is follow-up tasks. And we need to store title, description, urgency, and assign to. So title would be the title in that agent flow, and the description, urgency, and assign to. Okay, so that looks good. And now just save it. And publish. Okay, so now next thing we need to do is call that flow from here. We need to refresh it first. Right before this message, we need to call that flow. So you go to add a tool, and in here there should be one. I'm not sure what the name was. We didn't specify any name. So click on overview, edit. So that would be create a task, I think. Yeah, that should be enough. Create a task. Next thing we need to do is return a response. Respond to the agent. And the only thing we can return is the new task ID. So the value is when the SharePoint item is created, it returns the ID value. So we can return that ID of the new task. Okay, just save and publish. Let's refresh. Just before this message, add a tool, and this is the task. This is the flow we created, create a task. Click on that, and now we have to provide this information. So the title would be coming from the this field. And then description, urgency, and assign to. Okay, so that information is provided. Now save it. And go to your first topic. You go to sales deal assist. We have a trigger, we have a question, we are asking won or lost, and then we have an if condition, and after that we are just displaying this message. And at the bottom of this we have to call that topic. That is create a follow-up task, and the save. Okay, now let's test this topic first. So this one is a sales deal assistance. So let's write a prompt that I want to update status of a sales deal. I'll say I won. Now, now this is now calling the other topic we created. So that will be click on create task, and it say the thank you, your task has been created. Let's have a look. And here we go. So it has created a SharePoint task for us. So the sales Deal Assist is working as expected. Now, the next thing we need to test is the marketing one, the marketing deal assistance. So let's trigger that. So I would say I would like to status for marketing deal. Okay, so it has called the other topic and now it's asking for the information. I say create task and it says your task has been created. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay, so the SharePoint items have been created. Okay, so next thing we can do is we can, once this topic is called, we can just end this topic. And same thing we can do for the marketing. So once this topic is called, the information has been added in the SharePoint list. We can just end this topic. Okay, so we have created a topic which now saves information in the SharePoint list. And now let's add a new column here. So that would be a text column, and the name would be the deal name. Let me delete these two entries. Okay, if we look at the create follow-up task, we can see that we have displayed a form which can take 4 fields, but there is no field for the deal name. So the deal name should be coming from the main topic, which is marketing deal assistance or the sales deal assistance. So that's the deal name. So the deal name should be coming from here and should be used here. So what we can do is create a variable, create a new variable, and I will call it deal name and receive values from other topics. So that means this variable will receive information from the other topics. Check this checkbox and you save it. Okay, so the variable has been created and you can check it here. Click on that and it says this variable name and also says this is checked. Now the variable has been created, so we don't need this section now. So we can simply delete it. And when we add this information, click on that agent. Let me save it first. So we have this SharePoint item designer. So we have this flow. And let me refresh this first because we added a new column and refresh it first. We need to add a new input, which is called deal name. and just add a new column, deal name, and the value of this deal name would be coming from the parameter. Okay, save and publish. Okay, so when we submit this information, we have to refresh it first. When we refreshed it, it is now expecting this variable. So we have deal name. We need to provide the value, and that would be coming from this deal name variable. And that's it. I think save. So when we call this topic from other topics, we can provide the deal name. Let's have a look at the sales deal assistant first. So we had a question which says, which deal are you updating today? And we store that information in a deal name variable. So that deal name will be passed when we call the topic. Refresh it first. See, this topic is now expecting an input, and that's the deal name that we are passing, and that's the deal name variable we have. Okay, so that looks good. And I think that let's run it. The deal name is sales deal. I say I1, and it's creating a follow-up task. Click on create, allow permissions. Okay, so the task has been created. Let's have a look. Just refresh, and there we go. So now we can pass the deal name from one topic to another topic. So this one is looking okay. Now for the next one, just refresh it first. So now this topic is expecting an input, and the input name is deal name and the value. So if we look at the sales deal assist, we ask a question. So when this topic is triggered, we ask a question and the response is stored in a deal name. We can do the same way, or maybe we can just hard code it here. So that is marketing deal. And that's it. Let's save and run it. Okay, so the task has been created and just refresh it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we have this column, so we can easily tell that this follow-up task was created and it was created by this specific topic or specific deal. Okay, let's recap what we did so far. So we created a task pilot, an agent, and then we created multiple topics in it. The first topic we created was a sales deal assistance. In that in that topic, it triggers that I want to update a status of the deal. We ask a question that what is the name of the deal, and then whatever user type is stored in the deal name. What is the current status of the deal? We have two options, won or lost, and whatever user chooses, it is saved in the deal status variable. Then we have a condition on that. If it is deal status is won, then we just write a message. And if it is not won, then we just simply display the standard default message. And after that, we created a shared topic. So this is shared topic is called from this topic, and it is expecting an input, which is the deal name. When we provide this deal name and call this topic, then this topic is called. So let's have a look at this topic. So when this topic is called, this first displays a message, and after that, it displays an adaptive form and takes information from the user so the task can be created. And after that, it calls an action, which is a Power Automate workflow, takes all that input and call the action. Let's have a look at the action. And in Power Automate, this is trigger when an agent calls it and it passes this information and it takes that information and saves in a SharePoint list. And that's it. It's very simple. And it returns a task ID. We are currently not doing anything. And then it just simply displays a message that the task has been created. Now, we also created another topic, which is a marketing deal assistance. It does the same thing. So we don't have to repeat the code. So that's why we have this shared topic. So when this topic is triggered, it calls the shared topic and pass the deal name. And then it create a SharePoint list item and just simply ends the workflow. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. We learned how to create multiple topics, and we also learned how to call a topic from another topic, and we also learned how can we create variable and share variable between the topic. If you learn anything, give me a like, subscribe, and share this video, and see you again in the next video. Bye.